My name is Richard Dodson. I'm 64 years old. I've been playing with trains most of my life, and as far as I'm aware, my dad played with trains for a good part of his life, which is where I picked it up from. And what you see now probably came more or less from the interest that my dad had in them. I kind of picked it up and carried it on. I never remember having a Christmas without trains. I don't quite know the exact year it got started, but I don't remember a Christmas where there wasn't a train layout in our living room at the funeral home. It started with that steam engine that's sitting on the top deck of the platform. As far as I can tell, I always used to think that that train was given to my dad as a Christmas gift. But when I checked on the year of the train, and you can tell the year of the train by the number that's on the side of the train. It's like 1754, that number. And that indicates when the train was made. And that train was made post-war. So Dad couldn't have gotten it, my father couldn't have gotten it as a gift as a kid. He had to buy it himself. So I started to think, well, what got my dad interested in it? Because his dad wasn't interested in it. They just didn't have the money for it, and they didn't have the place for it. My dad told me a long time ago, maybe 10 years before he died, that he used to work on the railroad. He never talked much about it, and he never worked on the railroad long, but he always said he loved it. I don't know why he quit the railroad to become a funeral director. I never asked him. But I wonder if that's what got him interested in model trains, just the fact that he loved the railroad so much. The first platform I really remember, Dad had it in an L shape in the living room. And it was in the one corner and it ran across two walls. And he only did that one year because the trains kept wrecking. Some of my brothers and sisters might remember the black engine we had. We always called it the shifter. And that's when he bought the log loader. That was the first gadget Dad bought. And that was when they were made in America. Lionel was still making trains in America. And then he bought the milk car. That's not the original milk car that my dad had, but that was the second gadget that Dad bought. And that was pretty much it. Christmas was a big deal to Mom and Dad. It was a big deal. And trains was always a part of it. Where the tradition of trains comes from for Christmas, I have no idea, but it's always been part of my Christmas too. So 3 of those trains are my dad's, and of course they still run fine, as you see. I bought a couple myself, and then I had those little HO trains, and I just kept adding to it, and you see what we have here. And about 3 or 4 years ago, I got the idea to put a hole in the middle so the kids could come out and crawl under and go up, and they can actually run the trains from under there. And that's always been kind of a neat thing. And I've never been the kind of guy that wouldn't let the kids mess with the trains. That's why a couple of them aren't running now, because the kids played with them and so on, and wrecks happened and I didn't see the wrecks, and so I don't get upset when someone touches a train or takes it off the track and switches cars around and things like that. If I get that way, I might as well just put them all in the box and never put them up again. This has always been a part of our Christmas, the train layout. And my son Chris has a little train layout now for Tyler and Abby. And Zach and my son John, they have a little train layout in their house. So it seems to be a tradition in our family that's continuing. But I guess if there's one thing I wouldn't want to happen, and I struggle with it myself, this can become an idol. It can consume you. And I would not want this for either me or my kids as they get more interested in it to overshadow what Christmas is all about.